Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing some brief thoughts on episode 11 of the anime series Suisei no Gargantia. The chips were effectively stacked against our hero Leto by the end of this one, I have to say, and I can say it was largely surprising in that it took several different threads that I've speculated would be coming at some point, added in a whole other thread that I'd never have guessed at, and brought it all together in a 1-2 punch of holy crap. It begins with Pinion trying to flex his strength by firing upon the source of all the worry, another fleet of ships that sits idly by as if mocking them from afar. As the draw of all its power, the machine caliber belonging to Leto's commander Kugel, known as Striker, is sitting pensively at the forefront of it, just waiting. Leto receives a message from Kugel to come on over, an order he's all too happy to follow, even after the retaliatory strike from Striker that severs one of the tall masts of the hub ship of Pinion's fleet. But Leto isn't the only one to be invited over. As we later see, it is Pinion himself that this group of cultists, for lack of a better term, want to find a way to utilize on their behalf. As they schmooze, wine, and dine him, and Striker questions him to size up his skills after his having dissected a small Rubik's Cube-looking device that was left there just for that purpose, Leto has a meeting with Kugel, although it isn't exactly the meeting he was probably expecting. Kugel appears as nothing more than a hologram to Leto, claiming as having contracted a disease that for all intents and purposes is keeping him locked away within Striker's cabin. And an entire whitewash of unsettling plans is soon unraveled through the course of their chat about the humans of this world, whom have taken to calling the machine caliber a lightning god, about the Hideos and their true lineage, that of their being genetically modified evolved human beings, which is fully known to Kugel, and is apparently also known and understood by all of the higher echelons of the Alliance of Humankind, yet deemed to be knowledge not immediately warranted being told to the cannon fodder soldiers in the cause against them. And later, as ruminated on by Chamber and Leto after the fact, the likeliest plan of Kugel's being a show of force to keep the peoples of this world in line with all that he commands, and also shape them into a fighting force against the Hideos threat, utilizing the weapon-building talents of Pinion, now that he's been successfully sized up as capable of working with this technology. But, and to make matters worse, the Empress leader of the pirate clan Leto first encountered and sent packing early on in the series, Luggage and her minions, are part of this ominous fleet serving Kugel, at least for the moment. It seems apparent by her words addressing the concerns of her two consorts that she is just biding her time, and that when she becomes successfully bored enough, she may just make a strike of her own. And whichever way it's all going to go down, Kugel has it set up effectively distressingly, as he's making sure to pick Pinion's fleet apart one ship at a time, forcing the weakest of the people into the lowest conceivable living conditions and primping up the strongest as an adaptive societal ideology based on the way the Alliance is run. The most frightening realization, of course, comes in the end, when Kugel asks Leto if he'll join up with him, and receives an unconditional yes, even as Leto is questioning in his mind the validity of the moral ethics of doing whatever it is Kugel has planned. And the plan is to wage an open attack on Gargantia, as a means of making the point that the lightning god isn't to be trifled with in its search for a new world order. And so, as I say, the chips are truly stacked against Leto as the episode closes, driven home by a fleeting glimpse of the happier than she's been previously, Amy. He's got Kugel and his machine caliber, Luggage and her pirates, an entire army of gun-toting cultists, the potentially irredeemable Pinion, and even possibly the Hideos that may yet seek an instinctive retaliation on the humans who destroyed their offspring, all gunning for him. Now I'll admit the Hideos' retaliation may not be all that likely, nor can I really see Pinion becoming a villain through and through, but it does beg the question to me as to whether the Hideos were really just a means to this end, and whether or not they'll still be a factor in the story, or if the culmination is really down to the moral ambiguity of choosing one species' survival over another. In this case, the human beings on this world over the evolved humanity that is the Hideos. And I think it's mightily interesting that when it's all said and done, what you've got is a man in a machine caliber gunning for his fellow man. If that isn't abuse of power, tyranny, and hypocrisy to the nth degree, I don't know what is. And so that'll be pretty much it for me on this one. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you made of the turn of events in this episode, and how you predict it's all going to come to an end. Will Leto be able to successfully stymie Kugel, Luggage, and the fleet of cultists they harbor and effectively protect and save Gargantia? Or will this all end in tears? That is, I guess, if we get a satisfactory conclusion at all, as on occasion a series will end without one, so as to eventually pick up in a second season. We'll just have to see. Otherwise, though, I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.